Imagine this. It's New Year's Day 2026, and you are launching your podcast. I know so many people who are just dying to start a podcast, or at least look for consistent ways to create really great marketing content, and they know that podcasting is the way to do it. Well, you can get it done by January 1st of 2026. I promise you. Here's how you do it. You join my podcast launch lab. In that lab, we're going to have a couple weeks of class time where I teach you all sorts of things. I'm going to show you the schedule in a sec. Then that's going to end around Thanksgiving. So I know everybody's busy between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Then we're actually going to help you during that time produce your first episode, and we're all going to launch together on January 1st. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit of the details of exactly what's in the program. So here's how it works. Okay, so our first meeting is going to be on October 3rd, and that's our kickoff and our strategy session. So during that session, we're going to do a couple different things. We're going to define your podcast purpose. We're going to define your audience and your format. So is it you talking to the screen or to the camera? Is it you doing an interview? What does that look like? And then you're going to walk away from that first session with a very clear understanding of your podcast purpose and your plan. Our second session is going to be on Friday, October 10th, and we're going to talk about branding that attracts listeners. So in that session, we're going to brainstorm names, we're going to write your actual podcast description, and we're going to lock in your brand personality. Our third session is going to be on Friday, October 17th, and it's called Technology Made Simple. And we're going to walk through all of the technology that you need to make your podcast really professional. So everything from microphones to cameras to lighting to Riverside, which is the program that I love to use for all of my podcast recordings. I'm actually using it to record this right now. And all of your Canva basics. So you're going to leave with a tech plan for how to get everything set up. All right. The next session is going to be on October 20, and that's content planning that works. And in that session, we're going to talk about your first 10 episodes. So we're going to map out everything, exactly what you're going to do for your first 10 episodes and create your overall publishing calendar. So are you going to be weekly, every other week? What's that going to look like? And what are you going to talk about? The following week is Halloween, so we're taking the week off so we can go get candy. But our next session is going to be on November 7th. And we're going to talk about your marketing and your launch plan. And this is going to be a jam-packed session where you learn my one-to-many content model on how to repurpose each episode into weeks of content. So we're going to draft your launch strategy and your first promo post. Then the following week is going to be a double session. So our big day is November 14th. And so in the morning, we're going to talk about guests and interviews. So if you have decided to have a guest podcast where you invite other people on, we're going to spend a few hours talking about, or 90 minutes talking about how to find, invite, and manage and interview great guests. Then in the afternoon, we're actually going to work on our introduction, our outro, and our thumbnails. So your intro is that little bit of stuff that plays at the beginning of your podcast, and the outro is what plays at the end. You add some cool music. So we're actually going to record that intro. If you're virtual, we'll record it from your home. You'll have all your microphones by then. If you are here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, come into the studio and do that. And then we're going to polish it with music, and we're going to finalize all your thumbnails. And then Friday, November 1st is when we kick off the start of recording season. So it's also the beginning of the holiday season. So at this point, all of our classwork is over, but somewhere between November 1st and kind of the middle of December, we're going to help you one-on-one to record your first episode. So we are going to help you do all the technology. We're going to be online with you. We're actually going to produce that episode for you. So we will do all of the editing. We'll make all the reels for you. We'll write all the captions. So make it really easy for you. So that'll happen between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and that'll be done on a one-on-one basis. And then January 1st, everybody launches together, and we're going to have a big launch party just after the first of the year. So I hope that this plan sounds super fun, super jam-packed. You're going to get so much value out of this course. It's normally being offered for $29.97, but I'm actually offering $1,000 off for my first round. And so it's actually only $19.97, and I have a 6-month payment plan. So it's like $3 something per month. So it is a great bargain for all that you get so that you can finally launch your podcast by January 1st. And I would love to have you in the lab. DM me for questions or head over to my website, sherrysutton.com, and hit the link for the podcast launch lab, and we'll see you in the lab.